This is a story about flip-flops, and I don't mean the footwear type or a sudden change in a politician's position. Instead, I'm referring to the very prominent atmospheric flip-flop that occurred here in Pennsylvania during the first week of October. Now, this sequence of afternoon visible satellite images tells the story pretty well. Remember the first few days of October? Skies were cloud-filled, precipitation fell somewhere in the state each of the first 4 days of the month. But then the clouds broke on the 5th. It was a transition day to a stretch of weather that, with the exception of some early morning fog, was just about as sunny as you can get across the state. Now, this kind of quick change from a stretch of cloudy, damp weather to a period of sunny, dry weather is typically associated with a high-amplitude upper air pattern like this one, big undulations in the pressure pattern aloft. In the extreme, this can even look a little like the capital letter omega. Whether it does or not, and it didn't really during this last period, this is a slow-moving pattern. If you get stuck beneath or to the east of one of the big dips, expect damp and relatively cool weather for many days. While if you're beneath or to the east of a big bulge in the pattern, a long stretch of mainly sunny, dry weather is likely. Now, as this pattern shifts just a bit west or east, some places will get an abrupt transition between the cloudy regime and the sunny one. Now, these upper air low pressure systems are often accompanied by surface lows directly or almost right beneath them. And together they form a column of rising air that's relatively cool compared to surrounding columns. And since air is going up and rising air cools, clouds are common and hard to get rid of, especially the low clouds. In contrast, a closed area of high pressure aloft represents a column of relatively warm air, dominated by sinking motions. Sinking air warms, which lowers the relative humidity and favors clear skies. Now, truth is, if you'd told me that we were in a stretch of sunny, dry weather without telling me when, I would have guessed October, because at most locations in Pennsylvania, it's the month with the highest average number of days with clear skies. And here's the breakdown of average number of days with clear skies for Harrisburg. And notice it peaks at 10 clear days in October, almost 1/3 of the month. Now here's Pittsburgh. Not as many clear days on average in October as in Harrisburg, but a very noticeable peak once again in the month of October. Only in the northwest part of the state does this October peak not hold. Here's Erie, for example. The maximum number of clear days is in the summer months on average, June, July, and August, when the relatively cool waters of the lake stabilize the lower atmosphere and really inhibit the development of clouds. Well, the pendulum has swung back toward cloudy, wet weather here in Pennsylvania. How long will it stay? Paul Knight has details next in the extended forecast. Okay, that'll be a keeper.